Hey YouTube, this is Rex6D. Here to talk to you guys about something you guys need to be aware of before it starts becoming like a big thing. We all know that the PS3 and Xbox 360, they've been out for so long that there's companies coming out with like fake controllers and trying to edge into like the accessory market, like beat the official companies from making accessories for the consoles. Which I find it funny that many knockoff companies make several accessories that like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo had never thought of, and are actually pretty good. But anyway, today we have an example of a fake controller. Not any fake controller, but a PS4 fake controller. Yes, and you've seen videos of fake PS3 controllers and how people got scammed apparently, which to me it was pretty obvious when I see a listing for a PS3 controller and they're like super cheap. I'm like, yeah, there's something not right about this. Or they show pictures of it and you clearly see that it's missing certain things that the controller is supposed to have. And it's the same way with this controller. Several things to point out. Sony's official controller don't have, like, the shell isn't all white. It's usually a white and black color scheme with a black touchpad and a black back to it. Also, there's no Sony labeling on this controller at all, as I will show you the next few pictures. Oh, and a quick note to everyone. This is from an eBay ad that I saw up recently. Since then, this ad was taken down by the seller because apparently they said the item was either lost or broken, which to me says that they probably got scared of people complaining about this controller being made, first of all, and second being that it's fake and doesn't do what it's advertised to do. As you can see here, it is the front view of the controller. There's no headphone jack, there's no PlayStation symbol, but everything else looks pretty legit from these pictures. Oh, the touchpad is white too, and the back is white too. As you can see, this is the top view of the controller. Let me grab something real quick. I'll have to grab my own controller and compare. But yeah, it doesn't have the, I don't know, the lines on the back, like, you know, that kind of grippy looking texture. It doesn't have that. But as far as the touchpad goes, it does have that same little gap that you see on a real controller. All the buttons look legit. And now this is like the top view of it. And the buttons look pretty much flush with the controller too. So they did a pretty good job with that, actually. And here's the packaging of the controller, which I thought was hilarious when I saw this. I'm like, the DualShock 4. It's even better than the DualShock 4. But they advertise this as a wired controller. And on certain websites, after doing research, they advertise it for PC. They don't advertise it for the PS4. But for some reason, on the back of the package, it said it's for the PS4, which confuses me because in the advertisements for this controller it says it's for the PC. Here's the back of the packaging. I can summarize what this says on the back. That basically, when you plug it into your PS4, it's supposed to charge it up. It has LED indicators showing that the charging level, or in that scenario, and power through the USB. You have to worry about the battery, and that's pretty much it for that. Oh, and they tell you about the cable that comes with it. Now, as you can see, this is a totally fake specs on the back. Oh, the next pictures I'm going to show you guys is from a website called Light in the Box. Light in the Box has been known to scam people or offer cheap products that no other place has. For me, I don't mind getting knockoff items at all, as long as they work. That's what matters to me. I don't mind buying like knockoff cables or things of that nature. Even though I have been done wrong by those knockoff cables a few times, like I would go to places like Dollar Store, Big Lots, or things of that nature, or just online in general, and order me a couple of cables, next to find out that when I plug the cable into a device, it starts making a noise, or it smells like something's burning. Which, the burning example is from when I bought a cable from the Dollar Store, which I know all you guys are thinking, why would you buy a cable from the Dollar Store? Well, one being, I didn't have very much money at the time, and I needed a cable to charge my phone, because, like, I was always doing, like, back-to-back events at work and things, and the boss desperately had me on call. So, basically, when you're on call at work, you don't have to go in until the boss calls you, and that's what I had to keep my phone on constantly, so that way if the boss needed me on call, I'd be ready to go. So that's why people are kind of iffy about buying knockoff cables. So once again, the pictures I'm going to show you now are from Light in the Box, which is one of those knockoff websites where they sell everything for cheap. And also, there's a site that's, I guess, is a partner site just like it. It's called like Mini Light in the Box, which is basically the same thing. It sells the same products, but apparently, on Light in the Box, I think they have this advertised for like $30, and I think Mini Light in the Box has this advertised for like oh, sorry about that. Advertised for like 20 something. I guess to entice people to keep coming back to them, but as you check both of those websites, they're the same website. It's just that like they changed the name on the websites, but it's the same website though if you look at them. But anyway, let's get back to the controller. The controller, as you can see, has like a shiny, glossy looking shell to it. If you look at a real PlayStation 4 controller, like you don't even have to have one in front of you to make this comparison, but like you can go like to Best Buy or something like that and look at their controller that's on display, and you would notice that Sony has made the controller a matte black, whereas basically it shines in the light too a little bit, but it's not as shiny as this. Like, you're not going to see your own reflection in the controller. And the controller isn't all one shiny shell either. On the PS4 controller, like the official one, has kind of a gray backing to it that's like an anti-slip grip or something like that. And on the front is like a matte black too. And also, once again, there's no headphone jack, so you won't be plugging in any headphones into this controller, and there's no PlayStation symbols anywhere. As you can see in this one, same controller, just in white, and all the things I pointed out before are very obvious in this one too. This is the front, and as you can see, it has the share and option buttons. At least on the white one it has those labeled, but on the black one it doesn't for some reason. I guess they got lazy when they got to the different color ones. And keep in mind, these controllers only come in two shades. I'm not gonna say they come in two colors, cause people out there that know like color theory and things of that nature, they're gonna say that black and white aren't a color. It's a shade. It's a different shade. So they have two shades of color, I guess you could say. Uh, they have black and white, and the whole shell is all one color. That's one giveaway. Oh, I guess they do have a sharing option on it, so my bad about that. But anyway, it's still not the legit controller, as you can see. It has like that fake, shiny, glossy shell, but it still has all the same buttons and everything like that. One thing I wanted to point out on this that basically gives it away is there's no. I'm looking at my own controller right now. There's no official Sony sticker on the back with the barcodes and where it was made and things of that nature. There's none of that on the back here. They do have the reset hole that you can see right here to the right. In my experiences buying like knockoff controllers, sometimes those holes are just from them copying the shell of the controller, and most times there's no reset button right there, so it doesn't even do anything. Okay, moving on. We have a close-up of the controllers. As you can see, it's very fingerprint heavy, like as with the real controller. Like you could touch on that part right there with the buttons, that it still collects fingerprints. But with this controller, it's all glossy, rather than just the D-pad and the button. I mean, where the buttons are at are glossy. Oh, and also you can see, as compared to the real thing, they also put the little dimples in the touchpad, or the little dots. Which, I don't know, I'm kind of applauding them for that one. Oh, something else I didn't notice too, as I'm looking at the controller. Okay, back to this one. Right here has a small lettering Sony, but as you can see on the fake controller, it doesn't have that. I just noticed that. So wow, I was right. There's no Sony branding of any kind. They don't want to get sued, but they still want to copy the design and everything else of the controller. And once again, as you can see on the black one, there's no sticker of any kind. There's no indication that this is a controller for the PS4. As you see, this is an angled shot of it, and it has different. It shows the reflective shell that isn't official. I'm not sure whether this is lighter or darker in person, but on a real PS4 controller, these are like a grayish light color, and they don't really stand out from the controller. So when you look at it, you don't immediately see those, but they still show up and tell you that that's the directional pad, though. And as you can see in this control, I mean, actually, I should give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe because they're lighting. Maybe I can't tell that. Maybe they're on point with that too. You know, because they seem pretty much on point with everything else, though. So, as you can see, the D-pad looks on point too. Because I'm looking at my D-pad right now, it looks exactly the same. So they did a pretty good job with that too. They did a good job with the thumbsticks too. So this is pretty legit looking, for the most part. And now we're back to these. So I guess that means I have to wrap it up now. As you can see from the pictures and the details I pointed out about this controller, to say, it's clear that the people that make knockoffs have started to make fake controllers for the PS4, and this is also true for the Xbox One. As I was doing like research or looking up different controllers, I found one for the Xbox One, and once again, there wasn't that much information about the controller itself, nor was there that much information about it. So that way, I couldn't really make a video about the Xbox One controller. But the Xbox One controller in question is advertised for the PC. Also, it isn't advertised for the Xbox One. And plus, they say it's a wired controller. They didn't say it was wireless. Which this is what they're saying for this one too. They say it's a wired controller for the PC. So if you look at the description on the website, Light in the Box, they'll say that it's made for the PC and then it will not work on the PS4. But yet on the back of the box it says it charges up with the PS4, and you're able to use it with the PS4, which to the average consumer is going to cause conflict, because they're going to get confused and saying, wait a minute, you said it works with the PC, but then on the box you say it works with the PS4, so I'm confused. So, I don't know, I'm a little worried about this, and I thought that all of you guys should see this. If you're an average consumer and you're looking to save some money on the next generation, which with this generation, I'm always looking forward to save some money, because I still haven't gotten rid of my older generation consoles. I recently picked up a PS3, and I'm like happy because of that, because I didn't really get into the PS3 because it was so expensive at the time. I had multiple 360s though, went through those like because of the red ring crap. So. But I still have the older 360 though. I just keep them around for some reason. It's like the nostalgia effect, I guess. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right, but it's kind of like that effect where like it brings back memories. So that's why you kind of have those things around. So once again, beware of these controllers. If you're not in the market for buying knockoff stuff, don't buy this at all. These may or may not work with the PS4. I have no way of even testing whether they do or not. But anyway, check out the specs of the controller on the website I told you about. But do not buy it from that website, because I heard the website is a scam site and they steal your credit card info and they don't ship the product to you. And if they do ship it to you, it's either within 2 months or a month, and you paid for an item that's usually like $5 or something like that, and it takes forever to get to you still. And usually if you're in like someone like me, you're gonna end up forgetting about something after a couple of months, unless you wrote it down somewhere and marked it on the calendar that, hey, this is supposed to be coming to me, and this is supposed to be here, and keep track of it. But if you're always busy, like, you're gonna forget about it. So until my next video, peace, and watch out for these controllers. Like, if you're not out looking for these controllers like I am, don't buy them. Avoid them as possible. Look over your controllers, and if you can, go to a store like Best Buy or any department store that's name brand, like Walmart and things like that, and buy the official controller licensed by Sony. I know it's going to cost you a lot more money than these controllers, but please pick up the official ones, because they are guaranteed to work. Until next time, see you in the next video.